Welcome back to the Double Feature, the series where I play 2 random games in a single video, and I tried really hard this time to make sure that the selection of games in this episode were truly random, and I still feel like I failed to some degree. So the games I'm going to be featuring in today's video are not related to each other in the sense that they were made by the same developer, or they're part of the same series of games. However, there is an underlying theme that does connect these 2 games together. They are actually based on the same concept. So both of the games that I'm showing off in today's video were developed for a game jam. Specifically, they were developed for the 2020 Game Maker's Toolkit Jam, and I don't think I've ever shown off any games developed for this particular game jam, not that I recall anyway. So for those of you who are not in the know, Game Maker's Toolkit Jam is a game jam that is hosted primarily on itch.io. It was created by Mark Brown, who also runs the Game Maker's Toolkit YouTube channel, and the Game Maker's Toolkit Jam functions in a pretty similar way to Ludum Dare. You have only 48 hours to develop a game, and the game has to be based around a specific theme. The theme for this year's GMTK Jam was Out of Control. So both of the games that I'll be showing off today are based on the concept of not being in control of the situation you're put in. Now, there were quite a few entries that were submitted into this year's Game Maker's Toolkit Jam. And when I say quite a few, I mean like at least a few thousand. But for this video, I've chosen 2 specific games made for this year's GMTK Jam that personally piqued my interest. And they're also highly rated on itch.io as well, that also heavily influenced my decision to cover these games. So the first game that I'll be demonstrating here today will be Pink River. So I'm not entirely sure what specific genre this game would fall under, but it is basically an endless runner. Like, it has a very similar set of gameplay mechanics that are pretty common in endless runners. But in this game, you play as this little character right here, and you are floating down a river on a raft. Now, the catch here is that you cannot control the raft directly. The only direction that the raft can move in is forward. However, there are various obstacles and hazards you need to avoid crashing into because that will destroy parts of your raft. So how exactly are you supposed to steer your raft out of the way of these obstacles? Well, you'll notice that the raft in this game is made entirely of blocks, and you can actually pick up these blocks and place them somewhere else. So basically, you have to keep picking up and moving all the different pieces of your raft around so that they don't get obliterated. Because your raft is very fragile, and one hit from an obstacle can destroy an entire block of your raft. And if the entirety of your raft gets destroyed, well, you're screwed basically. Because your little character here cannot swim, water does not kill them immediately, but if they remain in the water for too long, they will eventually drown. And as far as I know, this game does not have a proper ending. I think the objective in this game is to just see how far down the river you can go until you eventually perish. It measures the distance you've traveled in meters, and I have been able to get to the 200 meter mark at least once before. So with that being said, we are just going to begin here. The controls are very basic. You press the Z key to jump, and I think the X key is to pick up different blocks on your raft here. And you use the arrow keys to move around, but the WAS and D keys also work. There's also gamepad controls too, and I think it's recommended that you play this game with a gamepad. But for now, I'm just gonna play with my keyboard because I have no other way of playing this game right now. There's also these little, like, rupees from Zelda that you can also acquire along the way, but I'm not entirely sure what the point of these are, though, because it doesn't seem like they do anything in particular. So, some of the obstacles that you need to avoid here, and I'm already not paying attention, but some of the obstacles you have to avoid include these little rocks, and also these little creatures that fire bullets out of their eyes. You also have to try and avoid them too. Actually, wait a second, how about I try doing this right here? Oh god, okay, well, yeah, you know what this basically reminds me of? This is almost like 3D Tetris to some degree. Kind of feels like you're playing Tetris sometimes with how you're supposed to, like, keep grabbing all these different blocks on your raft and keep rearranging them. You can pick up these hearts in order to replenish health. I wonder if maybe I should, like, jump over here, like, pick this up and move this over this way. There we go. Very nice indeed. Yeah, this basically looks like a Tetramino. I think I'm okay for now, though. I'm not entirely sure if I can go and, like, pick up that little block and possibly repair my raft. I'm not entirely sure if that works. I couldn't pick it up from all the way over there. Hang on a second. I gotta like move around here. There we go. At least there's no knockback on these guys right here. Yeah, there we go. You can kind of block them off. That right there is a Mayan. That is not very good because you don't want to crash into those Mayans because those do even more damage than the rocks. You'll basically obliterate your entire raft here. There we go. Let's try doing this over here. Very nice. I think this is good. Oh god, no. This ain't good at all. Wait a second. This is not good at all. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Okay, well, I'm gonna just get out of the way. Okay, well, now you know what happens when you crash into a mine. Okay, yeah, so, this other guy right over here. I mean, I could also use those other blocks as platforms. Yeah, it is kind of difficult to move out of the way of these little bullets right here. Oh god, wait. Move that around. There we go. Oh jeez. Yeah, their bullets are also like very long range as well. I have no idea what that thing is actually, because I don't think I've ever encountered that before. What exactly is that? Something tells me that might have been my my body from one of my previous runs. I can already tell you guys, by the way, that I have managed to beat my previous run so far, because I'm already past 211 meters here. Not entirely sure what this box does. I think I could add this to my raft. Yeah, I definitely can. I think this does something, though, because this is like a cage that contains an enemy, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hang on a second. We're approaching an actual minefield right now, guys. And I'm kind of worried about this. Oh, God, I wasn't able to pick that up. Ooh, okay. Just move this along like that. Okay, cool. Cool. Can we just collide with this and it won't destroy us? Because I think we can add this to the raft, right? Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on a moment. We're kind of fixing this? Oh god, wait, the mine. Okay, well, not only did the mine blow me up, but I also didn't realize that other enemy on the right side over there. You got merfolk spit in your face. Well, isn't that just unfortunate? 288 meters. I almost got to the 300 meter mark. As far as I know, all of the runs in this game are procedurally generated because I don't think you encounter the same enemies every single time. But yeah, it definitely has all the, I guess all the genre trappings of an endless runner. Yeah, this is basically how you move the raft along, so you have to pick up these different pieces, just move them around all over the place. Got very lucky here, because I actually already got another piece of the raft. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the rupees are for, though. So I was kind of thinking maybe you could collect rupees in order to, you know, in order to, like, buy stuff or, like, get currency. But I don't believe they actually have a use in this game. I don't know, it kind of feels like the rupees are just there for show, but I don't know that for sure. I can kind of just take my sweet time right now, because I'm just kind of floating along down the river. Not really in any danger right now, except when this guy starts shaking, it freaks the hell out of me, because I don't actually know what this means. If I have to, like, pick him up and put him back down or something like that. Oh god, no. Hang on a second. He's getting agitated because there's some guy who's firing bullets at him. Hold on. Relax. You're not in any danger. But I think I'm in danger right now because, okay, well, the mine is fine. The mine is fine. Hang on a sec. Put it right there. Okay, wait. I gotta move some stuff out of the way. Oh god. Okay, well, sacrifice the one piece. That's fine. Because we still have a lot left to work with here. Okay, mine's coming up. I'm gonna move over this way. Yeah, but this is definitely an interesting concept for a game, though. That's essentially how this entire game works. And I don't think there's really anything else to say about it. Oh god, there's oh god, there's 3 guys on both sides of me. Okay, mine, go away. God, why is there another one? Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, I didn't realize. Oh, okay, well. And it all comes crashing down right about now. Yeah, you also saw, by the way, that you can also see that I can't actually pick up that block, so I think I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. You got swallowed by the river. Well, we were on a good track because we got a whole bunch of pieces that we were able to add to the raft. I got very lucky with that there. Yeah, but you'll also see that you can jump into the river, but you can only stay there for maybe a few seconds at most because you do take damage over time, and if you stay in there for too long, then eventually you'll drown. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to stay in the water for too long. This will probably be the last attempt that I make in this game to try and get to a much further place down the river, because other than that, there's not really anything else to say about this game. Also, I just created like a rupee raft right here. Yeah, there we go. It's literally the same shape. But yeah, there really isn't anything else to say about this game, guys. I mean, it's a very simple premise, and, you know, this is a very simple game that was only made for 48 hours for a game jam, so I wasn't expecting too much out of it anyway. But it's definitely a neat concept for a game, you know. This raft that you can't control, but you can move the pieces around like this. There we go, just kind of like, rearrange the pieces of your raft so that they don't collide with any objects in the way, like rocks or even sea mines, because apparently somebody's just dumping sea mines into the river here. So it's cool. It's very hectic, and it's also very fun. Like, hectic and challenging, but still fun at the same time, and that's always a good thing. Okay, we're gonna sacrifice some pieces here. There we go. I made like an upside down L. I feel like I'm gonna have no choice but to take the L in just a minute. Hang on a second. I want to go diagonal here. I think I can still jump even when I'm holding a piece, like a block. Uh-oh. Okay, how much damage is that gonna... Okay, that does some damage, but we can reform. We can reform. And that other piece is actually floating down along with us, so that's okay. That is perfectly fine. Here we go. Do it like this. Do it like this. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna have no choice but to rearrange it like this. I'm just gonna have to go forward. Okay, something's gonna crash into one of those Mayans. Yeah, I think that piece right there. Oh no, it actually went through. Oh, and it picked up the little heart for us. Yeah, there's my corpse right there. My rotting corpse that's just getting eaten by piranhas. Oh my god, I just realized how close I came to that Mayan. Good god. Okay, I can... Uh-oh. 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 Mine right in the way. I can't pick up the other thing. Wait, maybe I can. Can I pick this one up? Oh no, I can't jump with these. Okay, well... Okay, so I was able to confirm that no, I cannot actually jump when I'm holding, what am I trying to say here? When I'm holding a block. Oh my god, this is not okay. None of this is okay. What makes you think that any part of this is fine? Okay, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Hold it for a minute. Okay, that one's gonna crash into that block over there. What is with all these freaking mines, dude? Holy crap. Oh my goodness. Okay, some guy's getting agitated. Here. You're okay. You're okay. I'm not gonna be okay because I'm about to die. Hang on a second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's another mine. That's okay. Move you out of the way. Just like this. There we go. Can I at least make it to the 300 mark before you kill me? Okay, there we go. We made it to 300. Let's just say that was my goal for this video, just to get to 300. I don't even care if I die at this point. Okay, I don't want to crash into you, though. Uh-oh. Whoa, okay. Uh-oh. Okay, am I trapped right now? Am I trapped? I think I may be trapped. Okay, well, I got killed anyway, but hang on a second. Everything's gonna just, like, explode in just a minute. Oh, I guess the blocks do actually kill the enemies for me, because that guy just disappeared. Okay, well, the rest of the raft's gonna get destroyed right now. There we go, because of that Mayan. Okay, well, 326 meters, that was the best I've been able to do so far. It does seem like the river gets a lot more crowded the further down you go. So, yeah, in other words, endless runner. But it's very different than an endless runner, because you're not even running. It's like an endless floater? I'm not even sure. But that's all I really have to say about Pink River, though. It's one of the more interesting entries from the GMTK Jam this year. Trying to control a raft that you don't actually have any control over. Basically trying to reconfigure it in different ways so that it doesn't collide with any of the objects down the river, like Mayans or rocks, or even like weird creatures that kind of looks suspiciously like the Guardians from Minecraft, although I'm not entirely sure if that was the inspiration for the design of those creatures. I mean, the art style is definitely interesting too, combining like 2D pixels with 3D voxels. The art style does kind of remind me of that one particular Pokemon fan game that I used to cover extensively back in the early days of my channel called Pokemon 3D. The art style here is very similar to that. So that about does it for Pink River, though, and just for the record, you can actually kill yourself before you even get on the raft. I just want to show this off right here. Yeah, you basically get eaten by piranhas. You got swallowed by the river. Yeah, so you can actually end up dying before you even, before you even get on the raft. And then, yeah, all the piranhas come and, just feast on your bones, basically. As a matter of fact, can I actually put, like, more than one body here, or does it, oh my god, okay, yeah, I think there's Okay, no, it actually gets rid of one of the bodies, so you can only have one on screen at a time, I guess. But I guess that does give you an indication as to which point you were able to get to in the game before. You can get a good idea as to where exactly you died in your previous run. That about does it for Pink River, so we're gonna move on to the next game that I wish to cover now, so let's go and do it. So the next game that I have here is called Laserwave. So this was also developed for the GMTK Game Jam this year. And this is the Jam version of the game that I am covering specifically, because there is a post-Jam version of Laserwave that came out just a couple days ago, and I imagine that the post-Jam version probably contains a lot more content, but for the purpose of this video, I wanted to demonstrate to you the specific version of the game that was submitted to the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam initially. So much like Pink River, Laserwave follows the Out of Control theme of this year's GMTK Jam, but the genre of this game is completely different, and as a matter of fact, this game is effectively a combination of two different genres. It's a twin-stick shooter, but it's also a rhythm game at the same time. So the premise of Laserwave is that you are not in direct control of your ship, once again. However, you can manipulate the movement of your ship with the game's music. So the game's music progresses on its own, but all of the different kicks and snares within the music will actually cause your ship to move. So essentially, your ship moves to the beat of the music. And using this knowledge, you can manipulate the movement of your ship in very specific ways. Whenever the kick drums play, the ship will be knocked back in the direction opposite to that of your mouse. So based on where your mouse is positioned, you can actually move your ship either up, down, left, right, or even diagonally whenever the kicks come in. So for instance, if you have your mouse placed underneath the ship, then whenever the kick drum plays in the music, the ship will be bounced upwards. And if you position your mouse above the ship, then whenever the kick drum comes in, it'll be pushed downwards. If it's placed to the left of the ship, then it'll be bounced sideways to the right, and vice versa. And whenever the snare drum starts playing, that's when the ship will start firing laser beams. It fires lasers to the beat of the snare drum. And the laser, of course, can be used to damage enemies. And the objective of this game is that you're trying to destroy a gigantic hexagon that basically acts as the game's boss. Your ship has about 5 hit points in total, and I think the boss of the game has 15 hit points. And because this is a small game jam game that was made in just 48 hours, there is only one level in this game, so once you beat the boss of the first and only level, then the game ends. There is also a little indication at the bottom of the screen showing you where exactly the kicks and snares come in on the music, like it shows you the actual beats that they lie on. You'll get a better idea as to how exactly this game functions when we start playing it, and of course it's also synthwave themed, because basically everything in 2020 has to be synthwave themed now. So Laserwave, click to continue, grab your mouse, turn up the volume, and let the beats flow through you. Indeed, but I am honestly not looking forward to actually trying to be able to commentate this because, I mean, given that this game is heavily rhythm focused, it can be kind of difficult to commentate, but I'm gonna try the best I can do right here. Yeah, so you'll notice that there's a lot of kicks and snares happening right now. Every time a snare plays, I fire a laser beam, and it's doing that automatically for the record, because like I said, you're not in direct control of the ship right here. And occasionally, there will be health pickups that you can get, and you have to avoid crashing into the enemies directly. There's also this yellow upgrade right here that basically acts like I guess a smart bomb almost. And what this does is that whenever the hi-hats come in, then your ship will basically explode outwards and it can damage a whole bunch of enemies within close proximity to you. So that's basically what this entire game is like, or how exactly it functions. So yeah, just shoot and fire, or I guess like bounce and fire to the beat of the music, and that's about it. And my god, it is very difficult to try and commentate this. Try not to hit the walls as well, because if you bounce into the walls of the level as well, that will also damage you, so try to avoid doing that. Yeah, you got this hexagon on the side right here, and you're trying to fire lasers at it. I don't think you're supposed to collide with that hexagon either, because I think that also damages you. So yeah, you're just trying to basically destroy it, and I actually already destroyed it, and, well, that's literally the game, guys. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thanks for playing, made for the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam 2020 in 48 hours by Daniel Ambritz. And here is the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam logo right there, so you can tell that's exactly what this game was made for. Also this chromatic aberration effect. So that did go by pretty quickly, admittedly, so I am actually going to try and play through this one more time, just to try and give a better explanation as to what exactly is happening here. So, whenever the snares hit, you'll see that I fire a laser. Whenever the kicks hit, my ship gets bounced backwards. This I can actually control kind of directly, but it does depend on where exactly my mouse is placed on the screen. So if I'm placing my mouse below him, or below the ship, then it gets bounced upwards, and that's kind of what I want to do right now. Yeah, so you can kind of just ignore the enemies altogether if you want, but I don't really recommend doing that because if you leave the enemies alone for too long, the screen can become very crowded. So I would recommend trying to destroy as many enemies on screen as you can, and then just trying to take shots at the boss whenever you can as well. Like, when you have a clear shot at the boss, that's when you should start firing stuff at him, basically. So yeah, this game is very fast-paced, and if you don't have a strong sense of rhythm, then this game can be, well, probably next to impossible. I will admit that I was kind of confused as to what exactly I was supposed to do in this game at first, because I didn't realize that you could influence the movement of your ship with the mouse, or with your cursor, I guess. Because what I thought I had to do was that I had to time all the movements to like mouse presses or something, but as it turns out, no, that is not at all what you're supposed to be doing. So you just have to like move the mouse around here. I think I also bugged the game out because for some reason the hexagon just started like glowing for no apparent reason. So I don't really know what else to say about this game, honestly, because this is literally the only level. Yeah, the thing that does kind of suck, though, is that you have to keep closing the game and reopening it if you want to restart it. I don't understand why there isn't just, like, a restart option like there is in Pink River, where you can just press the escape key and go back to, like, the beginning of the game. Not really sure why this game doesn't have a feature like that. I do want to mention as well that all these upgrades are random, like they just pop up randomly on the screen and I think at random intervals. But yeah, you can use that like counter, or I guess that like measure counter or whatever the heck at the bottom of the screen as like a reference point for when exactly the kicks and the snares come in. And it's also worth noting too that the hi-hats only play whenever you collect this yellow upgrade, otherwise there are no actual hi-hats that play during the song. Like, if you never collect this upgrade right here, then the hi-hats will never play. This is definitely an interesting concept for a game. I do really like the synthwave aesthetic as well. I know it kind of felt like maybe I was criticizing the synthwave aesthetic at the beginning of the video, but no, I actually very much enjoy this kind of aesthetic as well. I really like it. And it turns out that this game is actually a bit higher rated than Pink River on itch.io, because I think this game actually has the same amount of ratings as Pink River on itch, which is about 36, but the game's average rating is somewhat higher. And there is no time limit in this game either. You can take as long as you want to defeat the boss in this game. If you want to just keep juggling the little diamond ship around right here for as long as you can do that. I have no idea what exactly the post-jam version of this game entails. I'm not sure if it's like, if maybe there's an additional level in the updated version of this game that came out just a couple days ago, but like I said, the reason why I wanted to play the jam version specifically is because I wanted to show off what exactly was submitted to GMTK. Also, there's way too many enemies on the screen. Here we go. Destroy all the triangles with some hi-hats. There we go. That's an abstract concept if I've ever heard of it. There we go. Just kill everyone with synthwave. That's basically what we gotta do. Synthwave will destroy everyone's faces. There we go. Very nice indeed. And then get this health pickup, which I don't even need, honestly. Also, if you want to try and reconstruct the music that plays in this game, it shows you the actual sample packs that the game's developer used in order to create this music. So you got drums, 80s retro futuristic drum pack by Data Drive, and then the bass loop is called Synthwave Bass Synth by Simon Invader, also known as Looperman. So I mean, the samples that are used in this song are laid out right here, so just go look them up and you could be creating your own synthwave bangers in no time. Now, if you want to know what exactly happens if you end up dying, well, it's not really all that exciting, honestly, but I will show you. Yeah, as you can see, dead. Press R to restart, that's it. Yeah, I don't understand why it gives you the option to restart the game when you die, but not the option to restart it after you beat the game. Also, the boss still spawns either way. Yeah, and I think if you just leave it on the screen, eventually the entire screen will just get filled up with enemies. So I don't know, if you want like a nice little screensaver, I guess you could just keep the game on the screen without restarting. The game just kind of progresses on its own, even the music still plays. I think the word I was looking for this little thing down here is music sheet. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say before. This is basically like a music sheet. Use the music sheet as reference. Even though honestly it's not really that much of a music sheet, because I mean music sheets don't normally look like that, with just little dots indicating where all the different like snares and kick drums are. It doesn't show you where the hi-hats are, by the way, whenever you collect that little upgrade right there. Yeah, it doesn't show you where exactly the hi-hats are located on the music sheet, though, because I think they kind of... I think the way that upgrade works is that it triggers automatically after a couple of seconds, because I don't think you can trigger it manually. You have to, like, wait a couple seconds, and then the game will just use it automatically. So I think I'll just try to beat this boss one last time, and then after that, we'll probably be done with this video, actually. Because, I mean, there's not really anything else I have to say about this. Okay, well, I might be screwed here. Okay, well, I definitely am, because for whatever reason, the upgrade didn't appear there at all. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's the hi-hat upgrade. There we go. Hi-hats all over the place. I think you can also damage the boss with that hi-hat explosion as well. Kind of reminds me of like a smart bomb almost. There we go. Do some damage in there. Okay, I gotta get rid of the triangles because they're just gonna poke me. There we go. Poke me with their sharp, jagged edges, and you don't want that. You don't want them to poke you. There we go. That's a bad thing. A very bad thing. Okay, well, you don't want to like bounce yourself into them either. This can be kind of difficult to control if you well, if you're confused by this game's control scheme. Actually, is it possible for me to die and also like... Oh no, I become invincible, actually, when I defeat the boss. Okay. I thought maybe there would have been a way to bug the game out where I can, like die after beating the boss and then the game just breaks, but no, I guess that has been idiot-proofed. Okay. But sometimes I enjoy being an idiot in games. I mean, that's part of what makes playing video games so fun. At least the games that do allow you to be an absolute moron like that. So yeah, I don't really have anything more to say about Laserwave. Basically, twin-stick shooter, but with a synthwave aesthetic. I'd be down for that, honestly. Like, if this was a more, like, fleshed out and fully fledged game, like a commercial title that I could buy on Steam, yeah, I'd totally pay for that. I mean, in all fairness, the older Geometry Wars games kind of already invoke that sort of, like, synthwave aesthetic with all of its, like, flashy neon colors. Speaking of which, I'm still deeply saddened that Geometry Wars 2 never got ported to PC. I really hope that does somehow happen eventually, but I mean, Bizarre Creations doesn't exist anymore. I don't know, maybe Lucid Games can make something happen, because they were the ones who made the third Geometry Wars game. Maybe they could bring Geometry Wars 2 to Steam finally, because it's long overdue. But I digress as always, so I think that's pretty much everything I gotta say about Laserwave and Pink River, and with all that being said and done, I think we're just gonna end the video here. I also really wanted to keep this double feature video short and sweet as well. Like, just do a couple of much shorter videos before I take on a much bigger game that'll probably take like upwards of 4 hours to record. Not saying the next game I cover on the channel will be like that, except it might actually be, given what I plan on covering very soon. But I'm not gonna go into more detail about that right now, because I want it to be a surprise to you guys. So that was a selection of some of my favorite games from this year's Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam. Of course, there were plenty more entries that were submitted into this Game Jam than just the 2 that I covered today, and I highly recommend that you go and check out as many entries that were submitted to this Game Jam as you possibly can. Because I also saw a handful of other games that were very highly rated on itch.io that were made specifically for this Game Jam, and they all have really interesting concepts, so I recommend you play as many as you can. And of course, if you haven't already done so, go check out Mark Brown's channel, Game Maker's Toolkit. I feel like it's only appropriate that I plug his channel into the description as well, considering he's the one who's hosting this Game Jam in the first place. And also, if you want to go and download the games that I covered in this video specifically, the links are in the description. And until next time, thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next video I make. Later!